morning, party animals. Welcome to Ask a Coach today. My throat cleared here this morning. So happy to have you here. We got some fun questions today too. So I'm excited to dive right in. So thanks for taking your time. Let's start with Melinda. Melinda, you asked about phone numbers and websites. Why don't you unmute and give me some
Well,
clarification?
because I used to get all my phone numbers from expireds from HomeSnap.
Yeah, dang it.
And now I was just wondering what everybody
Homes.com.
else used because the homes.com, the new app is just not good so far.
Yeah. Okay. Melinda, you're in the academy, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Have you been watching what we're doing?
The video things?
Yep.
Yes, well, because I used to do my volunteer work on Wednesdays and I just changed that so now I can actually watch them live on Wednesdays.
Okay. So without divulging any information to our parties that are attending here, because
Yeah.
it's definitely a secret that we're holding,
Right.
go check your email. You don't need phone numbers.
Okay.
Okay. So don't
Yeah.
stress about the phone numbers. That's one of the reasons why I created that, is so we
Okay.
don't have to worry about trying to find phone numbers.
Okay. Is that the
Okay.
one from yesterday?
Yep.
Okay.
It'll be up. Replay will be up today.
Okay.
I sent you an email yesterday with all the detailed information as
Right.
well. Yeah.
Okay.
So you are golden, and we don't have to
Okay.
worry about that. And I agree though, for crying out loud, homes.com needs to get their crap together because
I
HomeSnap
loved HomeSnap.
is better. I know. I feel like I got addicted to a drug and then took it away from me.
Yes.
So, but good question. It is difficult if we're trying to find phone numbers for people. I know there's programs out there that somebody can throw in the chat if you would like. It's not something that I ever do. So that's why I don't have a resource for that, because
Okay.
I've never looked up the random phone numbers and called someone. It's not how I do my business.
Those are for like the expireds, that's all.
Yeah. I mean, even for that, I'd rather send them something of value than to
Okay.
give them the random phone call, but that's me. You also could knock on their door. That is an option. If
Yes,
it's
like 90% of them just don't even have landlines anymore. It's all cell phones.
yes, if it's safe in your area, though,
Right.
for knocking. So
Okay.
one of my agents that I've got, when she was new, barely knew what she was doing. She literally was watching the expireds, and she watched an expired the morning that it went off the market. She walked up, knocked on their front door, started having a conversation, and she got the listing, and it literally was like a $1.3 million listing.
Wow.
Yeah, it was insane. So the thing about expireds that people don't realize is we create all these stories in our head about why they're expired, and
Right.
probably going to relist with their other agent, and maybe they don't want to sell, and like
Yeah, I
literally
just finished watching my expired.
good. Okay, you're on track. Just follow that and don't
Okay.
get sad about not finding phone numbers at the moment. They're gonna be calling you, Melinda or Mindy. You kill me
That'd
with
be nice.
they are. They're gonna be calling you. So good question. Good question. All right. Thank you. All right. Let's see who else we have who would like to ask a coach today.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What do you mean by how many pillars should I focus on? Explain.
So like your sphere of influence, like focusing on them to bring you potential clients,
Mhm.
and then like possibly like social media to bring you clients. Like what's your thought on how many pillars of business?
So I use like 17.
Okay.
I use a lot. Now I know. So that probably just blew up your brain. So here's the thing. This is a crazy stat. So I actually just pulled this in the NAR stats that they put out. I paid for the report this year out of curiosity. And 10% of an agent's business on average came from their social media. 10%, which to me is mind blowing because of all the like craze around social media and how much time we can suck into creating the videos and all the content and all the stuff. And
Yeah.
10% of their business is coming from there. That's not a lot. Okay, 10% is not a lot. It is a way. So I use, when it comes to pillars, I have many different avenues, and I'll give you just a few. I do, so all the free lead sources, and if you go to my website, you can get that training, but every free lead source that I can find, I always signed up for. Now, when I say free lead source, what I mean is you pay you pay a referral fee on the back end. That's free to me because I'm not paying anything up front. So
Okay.
Okay, so free lead sources, sign up for every single one of them. How to get this like out of my face today. Sign up for every single one of those. It doesn't hurt you. It only helps, right? And then you get some of those trickling in. You get free ones. If you want to pay for any paid ones, that is your choice. Most of the time, most people don't. I don't always. You've got your, what people like to call their sphere, but what I call your associations. So when the reason I call them your associations is because you have the people that you already know. But if you say the word sphere, which is so common, the thing that I dislike about that is that puts a parameter, right? Like if you're saying like, this is my sphere, here's little old me, right? And here's my sphere, and these are all the people that are around me. That puts a barrier and a limit to that number of people because it's only the people you know. So I love to call it associations because you can create more associations, right? So when you're an agent and you move to an area and you don't know anybody, you don't have a sphere. So then people panic because they're like, I don't have a sphere. Well, that was me. I didn't have a sphere. And so that didn't mean anything to me, but I could create associations. So I do put energy into that bucket of how am I creating associations with people? By volunteering, by being active in my community, by showing up to local events with my kids. There's so many different ways, even like your church organization and being active there. There's so many different things you can do that creates those associations. Now, those would be probably my tops. I also always throw in my for sale by owners, my expireds. Why? Because they're already raising their hand and saying, I'd love to sell my house. So that's easy. That's low hanging fruit. So those are the things that I start with. And that's literally how I built my business. Was there. What's that 5?
Okay.
Yeah. What do you like to do, Victoria?
Um, ooh,
I'm gonna put on lips. You
at
don't
this point, I don't, I don't,
You're like anything that makes money. I love anything that makes money.
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
But tell me what you like to
I
do regardless
just,
of the outcome. What do you enjoy? What do you enjoy doing?
I don't, no one's asked me that in a while. I feel like, um, besides like, of course, like helping people, uh, I get the most joy, being with like family and friends.
Okay.
Um, One thing that I've just recently joined and I get a joy out of that is I just joined chamber
Awesome.
for our city, and I actually truly enjoy doing that. Like I didn't realize that I would enjoy like going out there and meeting all the local businesses and you know helping them with things that they need help or helping them with like planning their mixers and things like that. I didn't think I would really enjoy it, but I truly do. And that I was surprised that I would.
That you enjoy that. Okay. And that is so amazing because those are relationships. That's your associations. You just grew your bubble, right? You got more of these out here. So that's awesome. So to double down on that or to add, I'm going to give you one more layer for
Hmm.
that. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're now out and you've grown your associations. The layer that I add to that is becoming an expert in your area. And what I
Okay.
mean by this, and this is not something anybody teaches you, but this is literally what changed and helped me grow my business my first year, which is you need to understand the key indicators of what's going on in your market at all times.
Okay.
Okay. The reason why, so we're talking, what are the average days on market? What does your inventory numbers look like? What new things have come on the market? What's the interest rate doing? What's the buyer behavior? What's the seller behavior? Those are the key indicators that we're looking at in the market on a daily. And the reason why you want to be up to snuff with those things is because then when you're at your functions with the Chamber of Commerce people and they know what you do for a job, okay,
Hmm.
they're going to ask you, so what's going on with the market? And you can rattle off so much intelligent data that they're like, wow, this gal knows what she's doing. That sinks into their heads. And then when someone says, oh, I need to sell my house, or my mom died and I need to put it on the market, you're going to be the first one that comes to their mind.
Yeah.
That is the long game. Fast game is called the for sale by owner, or call the expired. That's your fast game. Or pay for leads. That's your fast game. Long game in building your brand and building your business is becoming the expert so that you can demonstrate that knowledge. And when you can demonstrate that knowledge, people will start to be drawn to you. And then
Okay.
that's when you start getting more referrals, more of that repeat business that comes in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did that help? Did that answer your
It
question?
did.
Okay.
And no, it did.
Okay. Awesome. 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 Good question. That was an amazing question. Let's see. Did we have, I'm looking through to see scripts and objection handlers. I think that was somebody else. Who else we got? Who else has a question? Okay, go ahead. Maggie. I remember Maggie.
You can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I started looking at the free sources and I got real discouraged when I ran the numbers because of my tax bracket with my husband's income,
Okay.
but then I did an S corp, which I think will help with the taxes.
It does.
So, so how do you view, do, all right, so you're still making money even though you're kind of giving them 25 to 35%.
You're making 75% of money instead of 0% of nothing.
Okay. So I just shouldn't be discouraged about it then.
Yeah. So tell me why you're discouraged. What's discouraging about that?
Hold on, there's somebody at my door that I do not recognize. No, I'm not answering the door. Well, I think it was just when I, like, say, I take my typical commission and you take 15% out, and then we're like in a 32% tax bracket. And it just seemed like, and then I'd give the referral, and it just felt like I was getting very little.
Yeah. Do you want to know why you feel like you're not getting very much?
Yeah.
Because you're focusing on what you're not getting. All of
Yeah.
those numbers, not one time in any of that description did you give me what you would be walking home with.
Right.
And what you could do with that. Right. So
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad I came in on this.
let me give you a perspective really quick about any of the lead sources where you pay a referral fee to them. It's not for life. This is not your forever plan. So right now in my business, I don't capitalize on those lead sources. If they come in, I send them to somebody in my brokerage. I don't need them. I don't want them. It's not, I mean, sometimes I'll grab them just for kicks, but those are building blocks. So when Victoria asked, what are the pillars of lead sources in my business? How do I find business? And that's one of the avenues I give you. It's because you're building your clientele. Now, think about this. The general mindset of an agent is we focus on leads. And it's like more leads, more leads, more leads. Well, it's this never-ending pipeline of having to find more leads, right?
Right.
And everybody in the industry loves that because they keep feeding us leads and want us to buy leads. And that's a scarcity thing when we're like, oh my gosh, I have to have leads or I can't run my business. The type of business I learned that you could actually build by trial and error was you, from all these different avenues, you meet new people, and a referral lead source is one of those ways where someone can raise their hand and say, I want help buying or selling a house. Okay. That's given to you. You're not paying for the marketing. So really that, 25 or 35% that you're giving up, you're not even giving it up. You're just paying for the marketing for that lead because that company marketed to get that lead. right? So you're not giving
Right.
away any commission. It's nothing you ever had. It's just marketing dollars. You just didn't have to pay up front for them. It's amazing. Okay.
Mhm.
So when you get those that come in and all the other avenues, you perform like a rock star as an agent. You are amazing. You are an expert in your area. You have a great process for how you're taking care of your client. Then you move on to we have amazing follow up and we keep in touch with our client with value, not with junk magazines that they don't read, but with actual value, right? We keep in touch with them. Then they come back to you and they send their friends. And literally, my business, and I really didn't realize this for probably 5 years, as we would send out gifts to my clients every single year, and I would look at how big my list was. Now, my list right now of clients is 275. That's how every client minus literally, I think I didn't like about 5 of them that I took off the list. That I was like, yep, have a really great life. I'm never going to help you again. Okay. So besides that, I have sold near 800 homes and my database is 275 people, not 800 people. And it
Right.
didn't compute to me for a while because I kept thinking, well, my database should be so much larger because my home sales are so much larger. But then when I look at it, it's been 9 years. I've sold 3, 4, 5 houses to some of these people. Some of these people are builders. Some of them, right? So my database does not have to be as gigantic. So reframe, you're using lead sources so that you're just not having to pay the upfront marketing cost. So it's not costing you anything. You don't have any skin in the game. And
Mhm.
then that becomes your client and you service that client and you keep in touch with that client and that client is yours for life. And you're like, thanks, HomeSmart or whoever we got for not HomeSmart, but HomeLight for giving me this amazing client and I'm going to keep him forever.
Okay, that sounds a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? You make more money, you pay more taxes. I pay a lot of taxes, but I also
Mhm.
make a lot of money. Like it comes with the territory.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Good question. I love that. Thank you. All right. Who else do we have today? I know we had a brand new agent that said, where do I even start? I'm trying to find whose name that was. What do we got? Who would like to ask the coach a question today? Anybody? Anybody?
Good morning. That might have been me with the
Oh,
brand new. As a matter of fact, I just picked up my license yesterday. So
oh,
this is
fun.
gonna be
All right.
this is a new year in many aspects.
Oh my
So,
gosh. Yeah. I mean, you picked it up right at the beginning of the year. So game on.
and I attended my first company sales meeting yesterday and I left feeling, I mean, overwhelmed. I just felt excited, but like have no clue where to start. Not that I don't have a clue, it just seemed so daunting.
Yeah.
So
What
the
was
way,
overwhelming about it?
I think, well, with the way it was done, it was a training session, which was excellent. I fully enjoyed it. And then as each sales agent went around and gave their updates, I realized I was really behind the game, like did not
Uh,
even could not even picture myself sitting in that chair with those comments. So I think that nothing they did was overwhelming. It's just I took it on as a lot. So and the other thing is most of the training that I look at, it's out of country. So I'm actually in the Bahamas and
oh,
using our rules and regulations to um, do the things that you guys do. So some of the things we don't have access to yet.
yes.
It's the same, but not, if you know what I mean.
Okay. So which things do you feel like you need that you don't have access to there?
I like we don't have an option for paid leads or free leads. It's I just don't think that's been set up as yet. So I kind of have to do some more work. It may be there, I just haven't come across it. So I have to do some more work on that side. And the company that I'm with has just revamped the entire software CMR system. Their whole websites has been updated. So the entire company will be going through the training at the same time. So
Okay,
I don't feel so bad about that because it's
that's
new to
good.
everybody,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, that's great. Well, and
Yes.
it was going to be new to you anyway,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So be really careful. You said I'm behind the game.
Right. Now,
And
just a protocol. Should I turn my camera on while I'm talking?
yeah,
I don't
I'd
want
love to see your cute face.
oh Lord.
I lo-
I say all of that.
I don't make you show up on YouTube, but I love to see your face. So I know who I'm talking to. Oh, I love you look so beautiful and white.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so here's what I want to share with you. Okay. You can build a business on relationship marketing, and you don't have to have all these other bells and whistles. It's actually the best way to build your business. All right. So, all the things, please be careful not to get overwhelmed and feel like you're missing something with all the junk that's talked about, all these avenues and sources and all the things that you can be able to use. They're tools, they're options, but they're not mandatory to build a business. Okay. And I can say that because they didn't exist when I got my license, or if they did, I knew nothing about them. Nothing.
Mm,
Didn't do the social media thing. I didn't have free lead sources. I didn't have the paid lead sources because I was broke. I literally built a business and sold 48 houses my first year by talking to people. That was literally my business. Okay. So it can be done, and it can be done so many different ways. So there's not a right way, there's not a wrong way, and there's not a behind.
mm,
So you're not behind, you're just at the beginning, like you're just starting, right? Your adventure.
mm.
Yeah. And you get to decide how you want to build that. So you are like the epitome of exactly why I created my academy, because I take you from not like this overwhelm of what am I supposed to do and how do I build a business? And I literally give you this is exactly how you build a business without no bells and whistles, just how you build a business. So maybe something to look into if you are interested in some coaching, because
Excellent.
I will give you my business plan, but that would take you. So just as an example, even my sister, she lives in Texas, and she's like, I'm going to get my license. And I'm like, great, here, go watch my program. Join my coaching, right? And so she did. She became #1 in her office. And this happens all the time. And everybody's like, what are you doing? How are you doing this? Right. And then her broker wants to train her to train everybody else in the office because he has no idea how she became #1 in their office with zero help from him, right? Zero training, or even if you have training, it's not the same kind of training. I teach you street smarts.
Yeah. The office that I'm with, I mean, it is such a fantastic team.
Good.
Everybody wants, from even sitting the exam, everybody wants you to pass. Everyone wants you to do well. And
Awesome.
like you have your automatic cheerleader
Good.
and people volunteer their help, but I wanna, make sure I'm doing it right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the support is there. So I appreciate that. Yet I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be burdensome to anyone. So I prefer to, have a coach and be able to get through
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. One, I don't know that it's burdensome, but honestly, when people are busy, they do only have so much time to share all their knowledge with you,
Mm. Yeah,
really. And I think that's where it becomes hard. Even if they would want to, it takes a lot of time to be able to share all that information.
absolutely.
Yeah. But that is so amazing. That is like the perfect type of brokerage where it's a supportive community
Mm,
that will help you to thrive right there as well. And to not have any of the backstabbing, backbiting, for people to cheer for you when you're successful. That is an amazing brokerage. So I'm so happy for you that you found a great brokerage. That is good.
I feel really blessed, especially after hearing some of the stories. So I do. I
Yeah,
do.
that is awesome. That is awesome.
So
Yeah.
thank you for my
Yeah.
question.
Oh no, you're welcome. Yeah, no. And I mean, I know that was kind of not like, you're like, where do I start? And I'm like, start in the academy. There's so many things, but literally I'll give you the simplified process of everything to do. How to do the listings, my 4-step process for that, the buyers, how to talk to them, how to become the expert in your market, just the street smarts, and all of a sudden you're going to be this amazing agent. And it doesn't take all the bells and whistles. I still don't use bells and whistles. They take a lot of time. Awesome. Well, congratulations on getting your license and jumping in. You'll have
Thank
ups and you'll have downs,
As with life. So
as
that's
with life. That's right. That's right. Well, welcome. Welcome to the club.
thank you. It's good to be here.
All right. Who else has a question for the coach today?
Okay. So kind of like talking about what you guys were just talking about with like taking that break.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do it all? Because I was on, I'm trying to remember like what the program was, but I want to say like the real estate edit through like a seminar, like a webinar.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I had presented
And
on
you
that.
had just said that you ran for,
Mayor.
yes, like
Yeah.
how in the world, like, how do you, like,
How do I do
that balance is crazy.
Yeah, so it's been out of practice. So how do I balance? Yeah, so right now I am balancing coaching. Um, I still sell real estate, and I am now mayor. I got appointed this last week. I got sworn in, and that's been fun. I specifically I'm very in charge of my schedule. And I learned quite a few years back to stop letting everyone else dictate my schedule. So as you become more busy selling houses, you're going to start to feel like you have zero control, because a client's going to text you and they're going to be like, I want to go see this house. I want to go see it right now. And we have a little less of that because we don't have the demand in the market. We don't have the scarcity with the way that things were in 2020. But still, they're going to ask you and you're going to feel inclined to go like right when they ask you, which might change the plans that you already had or mess with your schedule or cause you to not eat lunch. Like that was my life for a really long time. And I became real frustrated as I was selling 120 houses in a year. So that was like my height. And I felt like I had zero control and I was gaining weight, and it was not very fun. So one thing that I realized is, and I had to test this out because I had a scarcity mindset around, if I tell someone not now or how about this time, I was literally afraid that they were going to not use me, that they would go find someone else.
Yeah.
Yes. So I had to start breaking that thought pattern that I had, which was that if I don't go right now, they won't be my client anymore, because that was a story I was telling myself. Now, are there some people who are impatient and they're like, no, I have to go right now? There are. Okay. But what I learned was, so just a little piece, what I learned was when somebody says, hey, I want to go see this house, or I want to list my house or whatever, I will give them 2 different time options. Okay, do you want to do 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock? Or do you want to do Tuesday at 3? Or do you want to do today at 4? So the whole, like, I don't know if you've seen my planner, right? The whole reason behind my planner is that I will sit down on Sunday. I will carve out everything that is family oriented first. So family and any appointments that I already have scheduled, I will go block out all that time.
Okay.
So that when someone calls me, this is literally, you guys, for the rest of my life, even if you guys never wanted to buy my planner, I would make it for myself because I can't survive without it. Because I literally like go through and I will block out in here whatever I have going on. Then when somebody calls me and says, hey, I want to go see this property, I'm on the phone. So because I'm on the phone, I don't want to pull up calendars on my phone. I just flip this open. I'm like, oh, when's my next available time? And then I just plug them into my next available time.
Yeah.
That's it. So with my new role as mayor, yeah, it's a little bit different now. And I've had to kind of revamp myself because now I'm getting like pulled in multiple directions. And so I'm kind of, what I did, I'll just tell you what I did was I take my Mondays are my real estate day. It's all real estate. My Tuesdays are my mayor day. I'll be in the office taking care of mayor stuff on Tuesday. So if somebody wants an appointment and they come to me, I'm like, oh, it's mayor stuff? Sure. Like, make an appointment with me for Tuesday. Right? I'll be in the office Tuesday. That gives me guiding them instead of them guiding me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And then the other big key to this, which it took me a while to really latch onto, was how I feel. Because I was running so hard, chasing the love of sales, because I absolutely love sales. So I was running so hard chasing that I was not taking care of myself and protecting my energy. And so a couple years ago, I decided I'm not going to work until 10 o'clock in the morning. Where before my phone would ring at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, and I would answer it and I would start going. And I literally couldn't get my feet underneath myself before I was like trying to like catch up all day long because I was working off someone else's schedule. So I decided I don't work till 10 o'clock. So if somebody says, I want to go see a house tomorrow, I'm like, great, how's 10 o'clock? Because
Yeah.
I get up, I exercise, I eat my breakfast. That's why I usually, I mean, we're doing this at 9 my time. That's not usual for me. I usually don't start until 10 o'clock. And that gives me time to set myself and my intentions for the day. And then I can feel like I have control over my emotions, myself, my physical state. I'm being more healthy, right? And I can have a lot more energy. And that's where my energy comes from. So it's doable, but it definitely takes you in the driver's seat, deciding what do I want my day to look like? What do I want my schedule to look like? Like this afternoon, I have a 2-hour break where I'm going to do something for myself. And I block that out. So if somebody calls and says, do you want to go, can we go do this? I'm like, nope, I'm busy right now. I have time for myself. Does that help?
It does. And again, congratulations. But I'm like, hey, the mayor can do it. I can do it. So that's, yeah.
It's a practice. It's definitely a practice. I might have a free class on, gosh, if you go look at my website, I might have a free class on about time management,
Okay.
I believe. And that was kind of the beginning of me like understanding. But stop and take a breath. If you feel like you're getting controlled instead of you're controlling your schedule, you have to take a beat for just a minute and figure out how you're going to drive the traffic the way that you need to drive the traffic for your life. So you can.
Did I miss your motivation for becoming mayor?
Why did I become mayor?
Yeah.
So never piss me off. That is the lesson for why I became mayor. So true. Honestly, in my town, how do I say this like really politely? Because I sell so much here and I have clients that come to me who have tried to do things with the city and they would come to me with frustration, right? I mean, a year or two later, if they're trying to do something, I get a phone call that says, Lisa, I'm trying to do this at the city and this is like, I'm really frustrated. They're not being kind or whatever's going on and the process. And I've heard that for a hot while, and I've experienced it myself. And for me, I hear it and experience it long enough that I was like in August, actually, just the week before I was supposed to declare whether or not I was running. That's when I was like, I think I'm going to run for mayor. Talk to my husband and he's like, yep, I support you. I'm like, hey, because you can't change it by complaining. Right. And the other really interesting thing about running for mayor for me was I've been doing a lot of hard things. And as I continue to grow as a person, I keep doing the next hard thing and the next hard thing. And every single next hard thing is very uncomfortable. Like coaching, getting in front of people to coach 4 years ago when I started doing that was so uncomfortable. It was such a hard thing. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just knew that I wanted to share my knowledge and what did that look like? And that's changed and morphed over the years. But the thing that I actually figured out about myself is I feel so uncomfortable around professional people. I know that sounds really weird, but We're thinking it stems back to high school with the cool kids. I don't know. But if I get around like really professional people that are all like dressed up and fancy, I get anxious. And I'm like, oh, and I feel so uncomfortable. And so part of running for mayor was also, I'm going to have to be around the governor and like other mayors, and I'm going to be in circles and have to talk to people that's going to make me feel uncomfortable. And in me pushing to grow, that's a good thing for me. So it's gonna make me a better person. And so that was the other reason. So yes, I got pissed off, and so I decided, but also it's a really great growth opportunity for me. And I literally don't know how to run a city. So they definitely 75% of the vote. And I'm like, and I literally said, I don't know how to run a city, but I will figure it out. And they voted me in based on that, which is amazing. So yeah. Any replays, by the way, I just got a message in the chat here. Will this be recorded? So every Ask a Coach is on my podcast. So business growth and mindset, real estate, business growth and mindset coaching. You can go find, and every replay is up on there. So perfect. Good question. Thank you for asking. It has been freaking crazy already. It's been 2 days. Okay. Anybody else want to ask a coach anything? Do we have any? I mean, it can be thought work, you guys. We deal with it all. It's not just tactics.
I'm really scared about the luxury expireds.
Why? What are you scared about?
Uh, same old fears, fear of failure.
Okay, what happens if you fail?
I'm out money and time.
Okay. So what happens if you're out money and time?
That's a loss.
Okay. So, all right. So we're gonna thought you here. So if you're out money and time, that's a loss. What happens if it's a loss?
That's the loss. That's what
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying. It's just
Okay.
because I'm struggling right now in my pipeline. So I've got nothing lined up. So
Okay. So you have nothing lined up. So that if you try something and it doesn't work, aren't you in the exact same spot as you are right now?
yeah, just more broke.
Just more broke. Okay. Okay. So this is a loop that we can get stuck in, and it stops us from trying new things,
Right.
right? Because of the fear of failure. And the fear of failure, and take the money, because literally it's not a ton of money. Is it going to put you on the street and you can't feed your family and you can't pay your house payment type of
No,
investment?
not to that point, but
Okay.
it's got me looking at things, you know,
Yeah. And it's making you uncomfortable.
of course.
Yeah. So when we feel uncomfortable, we associate feeling uncomfortable with something negative. One of the secrets to growth is that when we feel uncomfortable, we start to realize that's a good thing. And we lean into that. So when we feel uncomfortable, our body naturally is going to try to protect us. Our brain is naturally going to try to protect us because we're doing something that's starting to physically create a response of probably like tensing up our shoulders a little bit, maybe getting a little bit of a headache, right? Like we start to get a little bit, I wouldn't say anxious, but maybe like we kind of tighten
Yeah.
up a little bit. You can feel physically feeling anxious. Tell me how you feel when you feel anxious or.
Yeah, I kind of had a sleepless night last night because I know today is the day we're supposed to order the books. So, but I've already worked out the script. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna throw caution to the wind and just
Yeah.
freaking do it.
Yeah. And it's a hard thing to do for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So because you're tying to the outcome.
Correct.
Okay. So when we do anything that's going to get us, I mean, if we keep just repeating the same things that we're always doing, we're always going to get the same results. right? And if we never try anything new, we never get to experience something that could be amazing. So when we change our focus has got to be more on the amazing part and less on the loss part.
Right, because you can't grow if you're not willing to be uncomfortable and take a little risk.
Yeah. And if we're always afraid of the loss. But the loss, when you say that I'm going to take a loss, and that's creating some of that fear for you, that's actually creating an emotion for you, a feeling for you. Because how do you feel? How are you going to feel? So the thought is loss, right? Okay, that's just a thought. That thought creates a feeling. That feeling is what? If you
Right. Well, why can't I think the opposite? Why can't I think, man, this is going to be so awesome. It's just going to take off. It's going to be a smashing success.
Yeah, but you don't believe that.
That's the problem I got to get in my head,
Okay.
get fixed.
Okay, so what we then go to is what's called a ladder thought. Okay, like a ladder kind of thought, right? Here's my ladder. And clear up here is it's going to be smashing, right? I know I spelled it wrong. I was going for shorthand. Okay, so it's amazing is what the ladder, like the top of the ladder is, right? Loss is down here at the bottom. Let me get that out of the way. So loss is clear down here at the bottom. Okay. So we have to kind of step you up the ladder before you even get to amazing. So what's a different thought that you could have about this process that you're going to try, that you're going to invest in, that's going to be making you money? You're hoping is going to make you money, right? But you don't have the evidence that it's going to make you money yet. What would you like to think about it?
Yeah, I would like to think top of the ladder.
Okay. But that's not believable quite yet. Like it's amazing and it's going to make me all the money. You're not quite believing that yet. And we
Yeah,
can't.
it's lack of confidence, I guess.
Okay. Well, and this doesn't have to be true to you yet, that it's amazing and it's going to make you all the money, because what if it doesn't?
Well, then you learn and
You
you
learn.
try something else.
Okay. So one of the latter thoughts then is going to be something more like, I'm going to try this. The experience will be amazing. And I will learn.
Got it.
How does that feel?
It feels better.
It feels better. Yeah. It doesn't feel maybe as amazing yet to you, like, but I want all the money. Money's the outcome that we're looking for. One of the ways that we become successful is by attaching ourselves to the process and not to the outcome.
Yeah, I'm learning that.
Yeah, because then we go through the process with energy and excitement, right? With that great emotion, that positive feeling. If we're attaching to the process and we're like, okay, I'm going to be amazing at my videos. Like I'm going to totally kill it on my expertise for what I'm presenting to these people. You can do that and you can control that, right?
Yeah, and in this instance, I'm not totally uncomfortable in front of the camera, and I'm not uncomfortable in front of people. So I just need to project that confidence, because I mean that's everything. Even though right now I don't know how it's all going to turn out, or I'm going through the steps with you.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're giving us baby steps, and I'm just gonna give it my all. I'll do it.
Yeah, hang in there with me. Yes, and maybe you don't need to know the outcome yet. Like some of the things that we do, it's going to be in the trust of what we're doing. And do you believe it could work? Do you believe and trust me that it could work?
Yeah, I trust you.
Yeah.
I'm 2 degrees away from Usher.
Right? I know, that's right. I love when you said that. That's so awesome. But it's true, right? There's only one thing to do. Either we stay exactly where we're at, which prohibits us from making more progress, or we're going to have to do something that creates something uncomfortable, which for you is the feeling of loss or the thought of loss, which creates a feeling of what? Can you identify and name that feeling that loss would create for you? If it did not work, nothing worked, you had no return on investment, you're fearful of the loss.
Well, I mean, I'm not afraid. I am kind of a risk taker, and my wife would tell you that because she's totally risk averse. We were talking about this, and she's like, "You really don't need to spend money to make money." I was like, "Well, I don't know." She seems very confident in this approach that we're going to do.
It's going to be freaking amazing is what it's going to be. Yeah. So different. I mean, can you imagine? Just put yourself in the shoes of the expired and you receive that.
Yeah, you'll know that they spent a lot of time and a lot of effort for
Yeah.
sure.
And if somebody spent that much time and effort just to market to you, amazing what they could do for you when you're trying to sell your house. Right?
Yeah, I
Which,
didn't really think of it like that, but sure.
yeah. And the reason why they're expired is generally because the agent they had wasn't proactive like that. They didn't have that skill. It's either lacking in communication, it's lacking in knowledge, it's lacking in, well, I mean, part of the communication being forward with the client, telling them
Responsive.
the
That's the biggest.
responsiveness. Yes. Yes. So in that last video, those are huge things to hit. I'm confident I can help you do this. I'm confident we can reach your goal, right? My communication skills are over the top amazing or stellar or however you want to explain it. And I'm responsive. I'm going to be here to take care of you. That's the only thing anyone ever wants. That's the only thing people want. And the reason I say that because I've experienced it so much with clients and I've experienced both. So let me just tell you, I've experienced both parts of the spectrum. So I can be an amazing agent as I have learned and added new things into my life. Sometimes I'm not the most amazing agent. Sometimes someone else could serve a client better than me. And this was the best example. I got a phone call from a builder who needed help. And so I went and met with this builder, and they don't have great representation right now. They're trying to expand. They've got 3 different developments. They want to expand to another one. And I literally spent an hour and a half, 2 hours with them pitching myself. And it wasn't even all pitch. It was literally just, the usual, like I teach you, compliment on the product, talk to them about what their needs are, get to know them a little bit, give them my opinion about what's going right, what's not going right, what I feel like they need to do differently, how I can help them. That was literally the process, right? By the time we get done, they're like, can we hire you? And I was like, well, they're like, would you just come work for us? And I was like, I can't, I have other clients. I can't just come work for you, right? I left that meeting and I was like, dang it, I don't have the capacity to take care of this client. They need a lot more than what I can give them right now because I have so many obligations and I'm really transitioning more into coaching. So I passed that builder off to my sister, who proceeded to do the exact same thing. She went, she met with them, she pitched, she told them what they needed to do, and they just glommed right onto her. People just want to be taken care of. They have representation. They have agents that are working for them right now representing their subdivisions, but yet they don't feel like they're taken care of. Right? It's the same thing. So I see that over and over. It's the same thing with your for sale by owners, with your expireds, with anyone who needs help in your sphere, your associations. They just want someone to say, I can solve your problem. You don't have to worry about anything. Let me take care of you. And literally that's what our marketing is doing. We're saying,
I just want you to get taken care of.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And
I like that.
That's all they care about. So that's the relationship marketing. That's the taking care of people part, but with the knowledge base behind us, not just being full of crap and feeding them a line in some script. You know what I mean? That people like to teach in sales. It's literally getting to understand them, know them, and take care of them. That's the difference maker. That's the only reason why I can make $1 million a year selling real estate, because I
And
became,
following through.
yeah. Oh yeah. And having the process and doing amazing at the process. Like there's that whole piece, but we're doing the upfront piece right now. Yeah. So I mean, and that's the angle that we're coming at. And I know nobody's done it before, but think about it. If everyone has been doing this method that I'm teaching you, and you're like, and you saw a TikTok ad or an Instagram ad, and somebody had said, oh, I just made $700,000 this year with this one method, you'd be like, game on, sign me up. Right. And I know it's harder because I'm asking all those in my academy to say, guys, I have this amazing idea. I know this is going to work. You're going to have a little faith. We're going to jump out. We're going to do this together. Instead of me just doing it first and waiting
For
to
the
share.
results.
Yeah, waiting for the results. I know we're going to get the results. Like I said, I've shared this with people who own multi-million-dollar properties, business people, and they're like, this is freaking amazing. I'm like, I know, isn't it? It's so cool. It's going to work. And maybe we have to tweak it. And maybe we'll have to do some follow-up. And maybe, like there's always something. But I know that we can grow this into something that will be an amazing tool. And that's coming from my experience, though, and I can believe that. So you just have to decide what you can believe, but just be very careful that you're not believing that you can't handle the loss, because you can handle the loss. It will not put your family on the street.
Mhm. Belief is the hard part, right? But we have to believe first.
You
Or
do.
it's not gonna work.
Yeah. I mean, that's the big thing. That's the difference between someone who becomes really successful, is believing that there's a different way or something more, that we can do it a different way, that there's a different thing we can achieve. I mean, that we're made for more, right? That's the difference maker between someone who continues to go on and succeed at high levels and the people that stay here because they're afraid to hire a coach, because they're afraid to invest in something, invest in themselves, and then they stay stuck in their same little circle forever. And that's not me. But I don't have a degree. I freaking went to a semester of college and then stayed home and had kids. Like, there's nothing special about me except for to say that I can truly believe that there is something more, and I will figure it out. And then I just keep leaning into that and leaning into that, and then you grow. And then you grow and you grow and you grow. And it becomes this amazing, amazing thing.
Very inspirational. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I'm so happy to have you in the academy, Todd. It's going to be amazing. And I'm here for any of your questions. If you would like to join the academy, you guys, that is where it's at. That is a community that I have created for you to find support from each other, but also to get coaching, training like this every single week, have access to me. That's where it's at. Right. So if you're ready to up level your life, your business, do different to be different, the academy is where you need to be. And I've made it so affordable, $279 a month. It's like the cheapest, most affordable coaching that you can find out there that's going to give you the greatest value. It is not what everybody else is doing. And Mindy just threw in the chat, it's amazing, which thank you, Mindy. I think it is too. So if you want to join the academy, you guys just go to agentleader.com and you can find a link on there to join the academy, where then you are able to get a one-on-one session with me for an hour. So we get to dive into your business, and then we jump you into all the training. I give you a customized path to training because everyone is not the same. And your things that you love to do are not the same. The ways you love to market are not the same. Your area is not the same. So there is not one way for me to tell you how to run your business or how to find business or how to explode your business. So it's a customized program for you. And I would love to see you in there. And thank you for coming to Ask a Coach today. And yes, there are still some planners left. We are nearing running out of planners for 2024. I'm not reordering. So if you need to order planners, you can also find that on agentleader.com. And I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Hey, are you a realtor and are you struggling right now to sustain consistent flow of business in the marketplace? I'm on a mission to help realtors thrive no matter the circumstances of the market. You can join me this Thursday for Ask a Coach, where you can come and have your questions answered by a high-performing realtor, high-performing coach, and a certified life coach. I can be able to help you dig in and find your superpower so that you are able to thrive in this market and not just survive. I'll see you on Thursday. Click the link below.